All right. We are here. We are in the presence. I am going to go over the charts and tell you why I believe Bitcoin is going to go to $180,000 for the all-time high of this 4-year cycle. And it looks like it is set to come in toward the end of the year. So, I am Shane. I am your host of Bitcoin Crypto News Online. I have a lot of news to share with you today. If you want to stay to the end, we will go over more charts. But I try not to tease you too much and give you a lot of beef right at the beginning. So let's get right into it. This is the total market cap on CoinGecko.com. I want you to look back on 21 right here at about May 2021. We had this high. It was a new all-time high. And then we hit this, and then we dipped. And we went all the way down to 76,000. Okay, so we went from a market cap of 2 trillion, 2.4 trillion, almost 2.5. And then we went down to a market cap. This is the total coins that are on the exchanges. We went down to 1.3 trillion, about 1.3.5 trillion. Okay. And then we skyrocketed up to a new all-time high here in September the 3rd of 2021 with a brief little dip and then skyrocketing up to almost $3 trillion. Okay. Now, last time we had a big cycle like this, you can see is back in 2018, but we're going to concentrate on now. So what happens here in 2024? We have this new market cap that is 2.7, but it did not beat out this almost 3 trillion. We did not beat that market cap until 2024. That's when Bitcoin hit its all-time high, okay? All-time high. So very much this setup right here. Now, if you look, you're going to see, oh, shoot, how'd I do that? Let's go back. Oh, crap. Let's go back. Sorry about that. Okay. We see right in here where my cruiser is, that is a cup, a downward handle, and then up to new all-time high. So an all-time high, cup and handle, not an all-time high, downward, and then new all-time high. Same thing kind of happens in some of these other ones. So what we see here is this is not an all-time high. This is the all-time high. We see a cup and handle, and now we are forming this other cup, okay? And we will likely see some profit taking, and then by the end of the year, that's when we're going to see the market cap. Look at the difference in market cap. Here, we're at 3 trillion, and we jumped up a trillion. So logic says, and this is no guarantee. This is not investing advice. We're just looking at the charts, looking at the patterns, seeing if there's anything familiar, and using this to try to get an idea what's coming up. But we could easily suggest that a 5 trillion market cap or higher is going to happen once we get our cup and handle, and then the handle, after the handle, it shoots up. So it's a very repetitive pattern that we see, okay? All right, so let's look at the charts. Where are we? Right now, we're looking at a very red hourly candle, red. That's the first column here, 1 hour right here where the cruiser is. The 24-hour is a mixed bag, but mostly red. So we are doing some correcting after hitting 104,000. For the week, we're up. Ethereum's way up. So we're seeing some serious major altcoin mover happening, right? The top altcoins, which is what I told you, if you're going to put anything in for altcoins, make sure they're US top type altcoins. Those are the ones you want to put in. You want to put in your stop losses. So right now might be a time to recoup some gains, especially if you're like in PI and you got 88%. Might be thinking of taking some of that off the table, making sure your stop losses are there, and seeing if we have a drop, will it be 10, 20, 30%? Any of those are possible scenarios. I'm hoping we can hold this 100,000. If we do, that's definitely a good sign. So let's look at Bitcoin, because that's what we primarily look at here is Bitcoin. So for the 7-day, very straight. It actually looks like it's going up until this last minute right here. So we need to see what happens with this drop right here. If we can stay above that 100,000, it would be ideal. It would be ideal to not have to test 100,000 again. If you look at this one, you have an upward, but then a downward. Not looking too good on the 1 month. On the 3 month, yeah, it's okay. On the 1 year, again, we have this cup, this little bit of a cup right here forming that we spotted a few days ago last week before we did this big jump when we were in the 90s. We saw that forming. So potentially some sideways action, and then we go back up again. So if it acts that quick, or if it goes slower over a month, then we look at the all-time market cap, or we look at the long term right here, and we got a little down. We're going to go up, we're going to go down. What are we going to do? It's got to go up. It's got to go up higher. The cup here, you can see it went down, it went up quite a bit. So if it went down and it goes up quite a bit, I mean, we're at least at the $120,000, $150,000 range for the next up. If you look at, if you were to say that's a cup, which is really, this is the cup down here. This is the cup, this is the handle, and here's this. So there's different charts to look at, different indicators to look at. All right. Satoshis are not on sale. This needs to be updated. This is not good. Right. It is good. Okay. You cannot get 1,000 Satoshis for $1 US. Remember, there's 100 million Satoshis that make up one whole Bitcoin. Stack stats, right? My daughter, I'm going to interview her. She's been mining for about 6 months almost. I'm going to do an interview with her, and you'll see how just mining 20 cents a day has accumulated a little pile of money for a 12-year-old, but what's going on in the future, that will multiply by many-fold. So that's why that's there for you to look at that. Fear and Greed by coinglass.com. We can see here that there is some greed. So there's some profit taking going on right now. That's why it's gone down. Altcoin season, heating up. We're lukewarm. We're not cold. We're not, definitely not hot. We're definitely not heating up. But again, some of the major movers are starting to show some promise. As this gets up in the 50%, we'll see pretty much everything that's altcoin go up, even the total garbage coins. This is blockchaincenter.net if you want to check that out for your altcoin season. All right, market prediction. We're going to predict the price according to coincodex.com. Bitcoin right now running at just below $102,000 for one Bitcoin. The 5-day prediction is strong at 125. Then that sideways downward is looking at 114. Then our end of the year 3-month prediction $157,000. 6 month looking at 151, and then going back down to 120 as the bear market kicks in, according to this chart, based on the, I believe, 50-day moving average, 200-day moving average, and 14-day relative strength index. And you can actually look at all the cryptocurrencies and see what the predictions are. I would tell you that the 5-day prediction being high indicates the charts are looking very positive. We're looking at 23% gains, but over the next 3 months, 55% gains and then 49% gains, so respectively. So the market indicators are very good. This is not investing advice. These are just projections based on the past performance by charts and coins. Cointelegraph tells us that Strategy is adding all kinds of Bitcoin, 13,390 Bitcoin for $1.34 billion price, buying over $100,000 per Bitcoin. Does it bother them that it's over 100,000? Not at all. Not at all. The all-time high comes as the U.S.-China deal for tariffs seems to have softened and become more friendlier. So these are some of the things people are thinking. The stablecoin bill has been put to an end. And, this is because the government, Elizabeth Warren, they want to control you. I wrote this book, Bitcoin Equals Freedom. Bitcoin, will it create freedom? You can get it on Amazon. I think if you have Kindle, it might be free. The electronic is 99 cents. I think a hard copy is like $10 or something, real cheap. This is something I've been talking about for a long, long time. I think that the freedom of Bitcoin is very limited. I think it's a great investment though, so don't get me wrong. I'm not saying get rid of it. I'm not saying don't invest in it. I still believe, we should try for the freedom that Bitcoin offers, holding our own keys, things like that. The only way we can do that is by continuing or learning and educating ourselves on how to self-custody and only keep on the exchanges what you want to exchange in a short period of time, not what you want to hold for the long term. All right, so we got all this good news. Crypto speculation dominates $6 billion cross-border payments, according to interconnectedness with a traditional finance, a BIS report claims. There's a lot going on with payments in cryptos and Bitcoin and things like that. I'm not going to tell you all about it here. Of course, you can look at these things, but Metaplanet holds more Bitcoin than El Salvador, $7 million in Bitcoin. Lots of companies are coming on board now. This is going to really push. Remember, for the last couple months, the companies are buying up and the ETFs are buying up more Bitcoin than what's being produced through the mining community. There's more being bought than what's being produced. As this pressure increases, New Hampshire just passed a law saying they can have cryptocurrency. So they will be holding on to that. They will not be selling it or getting rid of it. So that's good. Other states will line up. That's happening. El Salvador stacks another 7 billion in Bitcoin last week. That's amazing. BlackRock posts ETF inflows of $356 million. Just in the last 19 days. That's crazy. This is happening all over. Different countries, Dubai and different countries are buying Bitcoin. Other countries are buying it that have not announced it yet. Switzerland, I believe it is looking at buying maybe Strategy, which will give them more money to buy more Bitcoin. So to have kind of a Bitcoin type leverage. So all these things are pushing Bitcoin up. It is going to go parabolic. Here's an article here. Bitcoin about to go parabolic. Bitcoin targets 160K, 150K or more in this by the next year. So yeah, institutional investors continue to scoop up Bitcoin above 100K. ARK Investment buying more and more Bitcoin as well. Gemini offering futures and derivatives, putting more demand. Taiwan talking about using Bitcoin as a national reserve. I mean, it just goes on and on and on. It is amazing, guys. What we are in is the calm before the storm. The calm before the storm. Don't think weeks, don't think months. Think 4 or 5 years, okay? Even if you start today, you get 1,000 Satoshis for $1 when Bitcoin is $100,000. Why not buy $10 worth? You're getting 10,000 Satoshis, a little less than that now because Bitcoin's over 100K. You're getting 100,000, right? 100 times 1,000 is 100,000 Satoshis. Let's say you get 1,000,000 Satoshis, okay? That's about $150. I think it's less than that. You've got 1,000,000 Satoshis. If Bitcoin goes to $100,000 in the next 10, 15 years, which a lot of people think that's possible in the next 20 years, a lot of analysts, things of this sort, and not just Bitcoin analysts. I'm talking traditional monetary analysts based on what Bitcoin's doing and what it's going to continue to do and the scarcity and the extra amount of people that are interested in Bitcoin and gobbling it up now. Randall at Crypto Love says it's going to be like Black Friday. And I really agree with this. You know, Black Friday, there's only so many of those cheap TVs or those cheap computers, and everybody and their grandmother shows up for them. But when they're gone, everybody pays full price. And that's what's happening with Bitcoin right now. The price you pay today, yeah, it could dip down for a short period of time. There may be another opportunity to buy in, but there might not be. There might not be. And if you believe that owners of large industrial, or well, not industrial, large companies that are held on the stock exchange, such as MicroStrategy and others, GameStop, ARK Investment, Fidelity, BlackRock, if you think all these huge entities with their teams of financial analysts and people who practice prestidigitation to see what the future holds, that are very skilled in this, if you think they're all wrong and they're buying for no good reason, then, you know, that could be. You know, sometimes that happens. But, yeah, this is the opportunity. Don't put your life savings in. But, you know, if you can afford 1,000,000 Satoshis, why wouldn't you do that? If it doubles or triples in the market this year, or even if it goes down and it takes it 4 or 5 years and you're able to put in another 1,000,000 Satoshis until you have 1/10 of a Bitcoin or 1/4 of a Bitcoin, okay? Or you have 1/2 of a Bitcoin. There's only 21 million of them, okay? There's over 50 million millionaires, okay? They all can't have a Bitcoin. Everybody cannot have a whole Bitcoin. Everybody will not be able to have 1/2 a Bitcoin. When they're all bought up and the Bitcoin halvening happens last time, there's half the supply. We're already buying up way more than what's made. I mean, outside of a black swan event where, you know, it's just kind of like World War III and people are selling everything for just to have food and stuff, this is what the future holds, is huge gains for Bitcoin. China confirms this according to Crypto Slate. They send me an email. You can get one too. It's free. China confirms U.S. tariff suspension. Bitcoin nears ATH with huge green candle at 105K. Gold drops, Bitcoin gains. Nice. Happy Monday. China's confirmation of U.S. tariff suspension has ignited a fresh wave of optimism in global markets, propelling Bitcoin to 105, just shy of its all-time high. Ethereum, also in the spotlight, surging up to 42%, now kind of trailing off. People are taking profit a little bit. Hopefully everybody will take their profit, and we will still be able to maintain the 100,000. Those with weak hands. Global crypto market, 3.31 trillion. Now it's higher than that now. We just looked at it. In fact, let's go back and look at that real quick here. We are at, here we are. No, that's not it. Let's go back. Oh, here we go. All right, here we go. We're 3.4 trillion. Just below 3.4, okay? Altcoin season isn't really going to happen until we hit $4 trillion, in my opinion. I want to see it at 4 and going up to 5, right? Trading volume's good. Bitcoin dominance about 61.5. Crypto industry debate heating up with decentralized physical infrastructure networks, DePIN emerging as a promising path. We'll see what happens with the political fight that's happening in the U.S. on that. Best performing sector is cat theme. Cat theme. So that means, you know, meme coins. Here today, gone tomorrow. Here, now, gone 5 seconds from now. You buy it, it goes up. It's going to go up forever, they tell you. You buy it, it drops 20, 40, 60, 80, 100% almost. Be very careful with these meme coins. Have stop losses. Be prepared to lose money if you don't. That is it. That is the main thing. They say part of the market boom is this Trump rule reversal on the tariffs, the softening of the tariffs. Kind of a creepy picture there. These hands shaking, China and America, Bitcoin over the top. That's kind of eerie looking to me. But anyway, that's the news. That's all I got for you. Hang in there. If you haven't bought Bitcoin already, buy $10 worth, buy $20 worth. If it goes down, so what, right? Hang on to it. It does go down. It will go down, but it'll go back up again. As long as the world is turning, the sun rises every morning, there's no World War III, you got to do something with your money. Otherwise, it's going to lose all its value. Just think about when you went to go buy groceries 3 or 4 years ago, and now you're spending almost twice as much on most products and items. Just think about your parents' house and how much it costs to buy a house now. Bitcoin continues to buy more and more, and dollars continue to buy less and less. So I'll leave you with that. Have a great day. Goodbye.